From bureaucracy's basement to your ears, this is the weekly meeting of the Queen City Improvement Bureau. Each week, the dedicated staff of the Bureau meet to file recommendations, make reports. Perhaps that's make recommendations and file reports, as we attempt to sleep on a bed of dot matrix printer paper as water drips into our open mouths from the boiler pipes in the back room. Maybe one day we'll escape from the subterranean hell that is the sub-basement, but until that day comes, the city is not going to improve itself. So here we stay, improving things. This meeting is now in session.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing great.
Yeah?
Yep. I'm keeping it real. The city is not keeping it real, but I'm keeping it real.
No, we're doing the opposite of keeping it real.
Yeah, keeping it unreal.
Yeah. That should be our new slogan.
We're keeping it simple. We're keeping it brand.
Keeping it simple or keeping it unreal? I like these things. These are the best slogans that anybody has come up with for this town.
Yeah, that's finally, after 100 and some years of being incorporated as a city. 121 years, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
I know. I would be. It's old enough to drink and vote, and if for a human being to be dead.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
it's okay.
That's yes. After all that time, finally a slogan worth keeping.
Yeah.
Yes.
So should we do attendance?
Yeah. Yes, we shall. Okay, first off, we have... last week I swore that I would keep your name in mind.
You did.
And, but I think they replaced you with somebody else. I don't even recognize your face.
Oh, that's because I've been out and about. I've been hobnobbing with the fancy people up on the surface.
It's rubbed off.
Yeah, where they've been having all these like fancy meetings. So yeah, I feel like I'm glowing.
You're sun-kissed?
Well, no, Brand-kissed.
Brand? Oh, even better. Even better by the radiant light of Brand.
Yeah.
Well, it suits you.
Cool. Okay, here, I'll just put some dust on my face.
Yes, there we go. I know nice that power.
Filled up.
Paul, it's you.
It is. It's me, Paul Duchesne.
You look like the Gollum you once were.
Yeah. Well,
I'm still the Gollum I always was. So.
You are.
Yes, so that's why I know that I'm Aiden.
You're a bearded 70s Gollum.
I know, yes. Wait, in my 70s or from the 70s?
From the 70s.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, that's actually true. So,
yeah.
Yes, I'm slightly older than the oil crisis.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, not that much older. A couple years older than the oil crisis. Yeah. And and the ascendance of Patti Smith as a viable music entertainment act. Anywho,
what's new?
What is new?
Do you want to hear what's new?
I do want to hear what's new because I've been in the basement. I've been curled up in a ball in the corner.
Okay, well I've got some news.
Oh, thank God.
The city.
Ooh, that's news.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Wait. There's more.
What?
There's more.
What?
There is. The city council, our city council, voted.
Wow. There's a vote.
823 to sell half of Real to Brand.
Half of Real to Brand. So we're half real.
We're half real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is happening.
But the other half is imaginary.
That's right.
So it's really how you look at
it. So wait a minute. So if what they sold if they sold half of Real, then that half is no longer Real.
Yes.
Is Brand getting anything at all? I mean, besides
they're getting
a massive
half of Real.
Break. Okay.
Yeah, and a massive tax break, and that's real.
That is real. That is all the money that they are not going to be paying.
So what they sold is they sold the Brant Center, the building the QC Distillery is in, the Havana Center, the Queensbury, whole lot of parking lot. A lot of parking lot, and then some other smaller buildings. So basically, the far west side of the Real District, and then the south end of the Real District. And Brant is going to be able to they will be running the ITC Center.
See,
yeah.
You say that the city has sold half of Real, but what you've mentioned is pretty much everything I know of that entire property.
See, the stuff that we kept.
What do we keep?
We did keep ownership
ITC,
of the ITC Center, but we also kept ownership of the Affinity Plex, which is where the indoor soccer is held.
Okay, that's cool.
And that's a fairly new building.
Yep.
And we kept the indoor ice rink, the Cooperator Center. And I think there's, 7 rinks in there or something?
Yeah, that's good. That actually, I have been to that place on the weekends, and there are lots of people use those rinks.
Yeah.
So that warms the heart a bit.
And I think, okay, so let's jump into... so I have, sort of softened on this deal in the sense that I think... Semple might be crazy.
Okay.
So the stuff that the Semple family has bought, that the Brant, I guess it's called Brant Entertainments or something like that, has bought, it's all the crappy buildings. It's all the crappy, really old buildings, and the ones that are falling down. And as we learned from a consultant's report from a couple of years ago, the things that are making positive EBITDA, I think we talked about this with Pat Book. The things that are actually making money are the Cooperator Center and the Affinity Plex.
Right.
Community sports make money because parents sign their kids up for it, and old-timers play hockey and all of these things. So there's money coming in to the Real District from all that community stuff. Not so much from the Mosaic Stadium, not so much from the Brant Center, right?
This is true.
Not even that much from ITC, as far as I've heard.
Oh, okay.
So anyways... yeah, so he's basically bought all the junk. And he even pointed this out in his delegations before council, that the city is getting all of the newer facilities, and they're getting the facilities that have guaranteed income. And he's taking all the stuff that have event-connected income, so something that's unreliable.
Okay.
So he's taking all the stuff that the city has, and presumably, like the Real District before the city, has not been able to make money on, right? So, yeah, good luck to him, but...
Well, none of us are business geniuses.
That's true. And we don't have really super deep pockets. I mean, my pockets are deep. They're just empty all the way down. So...
Deep and empty pockets. Ooh.
So, anyways, I wanted to play a couple of things. I got this bit here. So, you remember last week that we were talking about Mr. Brant?
I do.
Okay, well... the entire Semple family showed up to the Wednesday, May 6th council meeting that ratified the decision on this. The entire Semple family, including Gavin Semple, the patriarch of the Semple clan. And he told a story about the origins of the Brant Company and the Semple family's relationship to it. And I was going to play that for you now.
Please do.
Just a few comments to give you a sense of our commitment to Regina, because it goes back a long ways. Brant was founded in Regina in 1932, and not by the Semple family, but by a Mr. Brant who none of us knew. I started there in 1972, pulled up in front of the place, unemployed, looking for a job, and started as a salesman traveling a territory. The company had 25 employees and was doing less than $1 million in sales. So it was a very small company. So and I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but that was 54 years ago.
So there was a Mr. Brant.
There was.
Yeah.
I thought Mr. Brant was a man of myth and legend.
No.
But he says there's Mr. Brant whom none of us knew.
Right? So I don't know what to make of that, because, if I hear a story like this, now this is Gavin Semple, and everybody I've spoken to in town, they're like, oh, Gavin Semple is a wonderful old man. Oh, Gavin Semple, he, supported us when we had to move a statue across the ocean. Oh, Gavin Semple, he helped our hockey team. Oh, Gavin Semple. So Gavin Semple is beloved. But when I hear a story like this, my natural instinct is to go, Mr. Brant, nobody in the Semple family knew.
Right.
Mysteriously disappears.
Uh-huh.
And the Semple family takes over the company.
So Mr. Brandt is clearly a Santa Claus.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
That's a much nicer story.
I thought that's where you were going.
No.
I got what I was picking up what you were laying down.
Okay.
As they say.
Because I was totally thinking murder.
Yes. Yeah. It's. I think it can only benefit our program if we accuse Gavin Semple of murder. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm sure this would help us.
Or he took he was out as a traveling salesman. He goes down to the crossroads, and he makes a deal,
right,
with a gentleman with a guitar.
Quite possibly.
You want to learn how to play great guitar? No, I want this company,
or maybe
with only 50 employees and not even doing $1 million of business. I want it for myself.
And the man says, well, what about Mr. Brandt? And Kevin Semple is like, get rid of him. I don't care how. Make it quick and maybe painful.
Yeah, and it looks like an accident.
Make it look like an accident.
But of course, none of this happened.
None of it happened.
No.
And I also want to say, for those who might be thinking it, Gavin Semple did not purchase a monkey's paw at a bazaar.
Never.
And end up saying, gee, I wish I could have this company.
Yeah.
And the monkey's paw, and then he hit Mr. Brandt over the head with the monkey's paw. Yes,
he was such a nice man at council,
I know.
And everybody seems to love him. So I hate myself for this is immediately where my brain went. Oh, it has to be murder.
You have a morbid imagination. That's all. Yes.
So, anyways. I just wanted you to know that there was a Mr. Brandt. I wasn't making it up.
Did you like the twist about the monkey's paw?
Oh, I loved the monkey's paw. Yeah.
He just used it to beat Mr.
Brandt. Why make wishes on it when it's a perfectly good weapon?
I could make wishes on this thing later.
Yep.
That's efficiency.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you get to the top of the business chain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Business geniuses. That's us.
That's right.
Yeah, so that all went down. The Semples showed up. They made their pitch, and as I was saying a moment ago, they were talking about how they're the ones taking on all the risk, and that was their argument for the property tax break. Mm-hmm. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more in a bit. I wanted to talk more about all of the people who showed up to. It was, as we mentioned last week, it was the Regina Illuminati showed up to either they sent in a glowing communication about how great this deal was, or they showed up in person to glaze this deal to the heavens. And so among them, there was a phone-in from the head of the WHL. There were letters from the heads of Bunge, or Bunge, I don't know how you pronounce it, Viterra. Yeah, the Mosaic Corporation sent in a letter. Our friend, Stu Niebergall from the Regina Region Home Builders Association, he sent in a letter of support, and he appeared last week. Yes, and he showed up last week at the executive committee to, throw his weight behind the deal, and the entire Semple family, as I said, and two former mayors.
Two former mayors.
Yeah.
Is Jimmy Elliott a former mayor?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
No. It was former mayor Michael Fougere and former mayor Pat Fiacco showed up.
Two fine, upstanding gentlemen who have made this city what it is.
So you had these
riddled with debt.
You had these two old timers turning up out of nowhere.
Oh, weird.
To show the new guy with the great hair and the new suit how to do things. It's like a holiday special for Doctor Who.
That's right.
And Masters couldn't make it because she was stuck in a time vortex.
Oh well, what a shame. But it's weird that Masters couldn't make it, but I can understand. She's in a job now where she probably doesn't want to be speaking in public.
Yeah. Both mayors showed up, and Pat Fiacco once again said that wished that a deal like this would come up. But I have to play this short little clip. From the questions that he was taking. This is how questioning from Councillor Burton started with former Mayor Fiacco. Apparently they knew each other.
Whoa, shocker.
Yeah. So I will play that for you.
And we recognize you without a goalie mask, but go ahead.
So a little known fact is that you were a hockey player, and you were a pretty feisty little hockey player. We may have played together. We may have hoisted a few together. We may have showered together.
Oh, my God.
It was in the locker room,
So that was from last week's executive committee meeting.
Oh, there's no more, right?
No, there was just that.
Oh.
I figured, when you say something like that in a council meeting, you're fully expecting it to wind up on the Queen City Improvement Bureau.
Yeah, I think so. That is an eminently quotable line there,
Yeah.
Councillor Burton.
Yeah. But yes, so Pat Fiacco was there. Pat Fiacco, mayor from 2000 to 2012. And we talked about this last week, how, when this council is complaining about the state of finances, the state of the infrastructure, and the lack of investment that was made by previous councils, they're pretty much pointing a finger at the Fiacco years with its alleged, Aidan, multiple 0% mill rate increases.
I don't even think that's alleged.
Well, sir.
Oh, am I able to be shown up?
Yeah, well, here's what happened. I'd been shooting my mouth off on the social medias as I want to do. And I'm tweeting away as the meeting started, and I'm like, well, here's Fiacco. You can bet that he's just, going to get flattered and no questions about his record. I could not have been more wrong.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, so we're going to play the first question that Mayor Pat took on his tax record.
And one more, and this one is the topic that everybody loves, which is tax. We've heard before that we're, recipients in this council of years of zero tax increases, and I'm not so sure that's 100% accurate, but maybe I'll leave it to you to explain. How many years of 0% tax increases were there during your tenure?
So I was mayor of Regina from 2000 to 2012. And there was 1 year where we had a zero property tax increase, and that was in 2009. I think the average property tax increase during that time was about 4%. So this myth of years and years of zero property tax increases in Regina is absolutely a myth. That's not the case. We certainly always kept in mind to try to keep the property taxes as low as they can. Always keeping in mind how much is it that the property taxpayer can pay during that particular period of time, because every year is different, every decade is different, and as I said earlier, nothing is permanent.
Thanks for that, and thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
So that question was delivered by Councillor Sigley's. Pretty sycophantic wording, I gotta say, and felt a little pre-planned, frankly. Can't say that it was.
The answer felt, if that wasn't pre-planned, it sounded like Pat had some idea that was prepared for the possibility of such a question. Yeah. And I would be too if were I Pat Fiacco.
Yes,
I would be like,
I guess.
Yeah, because if we were talking about having to sell off a decrepit property, and I were the one who may have borne some responsibility in the decisions that led to this, I would be prepared.
Yeah. So we're in 91.3 FM CJTR AccessNow Community Radio. We're the Queen City Improvement Bureau, talking about yesterday's council meeting. So when I heard this, I was a little bit taken aback, because I was like, a myth. There was only one, but I was sure there was more than one. So I had to go back and check my notes. And I actually pulled up the 2008 city budget, because I knew that some of the old budgets used to have a chart in them of previous mill rate increases, right? And so I knew I knew one of those around then. So I pulled the 2008 one up. This confirmed what I already knew, that there were multiple 0% mill rate increases. There was one in 2009, as Mr. Fiacco said. There was also one in 2006. A 0% mill rate increase, and a 0% mill rate increase in 2004. That's as far back as that went.
So perhaps he could say not in consecutive years or some such.
Maybe. Honestly, though, I don't know how he could say that he didn't have these, because this was in a contemporaneous document, right? They used to print these budgets out. The document that I pulled the numbers from, he would have held in his hands, and it would have said 0%, 0%, 0%, right? And
Maybe he saw the zeros and he was like, ooh, and thought it was a ghost.
I thought what might be happening, and like honestly, if I've missed something, please let me know. I think what might be happening, if I had to guess, is that in some of these years, there was an education increase and or a library increase.
Right.
Right? And so they would have passed a 0% municipal mill rating, 0%, but these other mill rates went up. And so the mill rate itself went up, but it was nothing that FIACO had any control over. It wasn't something, those votes that they did back in the day on the library mill rate, those were ratifying votes. And the school board, they set their own mill rates back in the day. So he had nothing to do with those.
So he could get up there in front of city council and say what he said.
Yeah.
So there you go.
One of the other things, he said that it was an average of 4%. I think he might be confusing. What is it, the one where it's like the most frequent number in a list? Is that median or mode? I think that's mode, the most frequent number. Because there were 4%. There was a 4% in 2011, 2010, and another 4% in 2005. But there was like a 3.91, a 2.84, a bunch of zeros, a 3.9.
The mode is the average. So that's what that means.
No, median is the average.
No, median is in the middle.
No, median is the average.
Median is the middle.
Mean is the average.
There we go. Thank
median
you. Sorry,
is the middle.
Sorry.
And mode is the most frequent number.
If only we knew a mathematician.
Yeah, right.
If only you had one in your family.
Okay.
Help out. Wow, that was not embarrassing for either of us at all. Anyway.
So anyways, when you factor in those 0%, it does not come out to an average of 4%, but the 4% is the mode.
Okay.
Anyways, as I was double checking this, I spotted something in that 2008 budget that referenced a 0% in 2001. I was like, I've never seen a chart that went back that far. So I went and I checked out the newspaper. And what I discovered is that in Mayor Fiaco's first year, so he was elected in 2000, but they did the thing where the budget came mid-year to give like the new council a chance to get used to how budgets work. And so in May they did the budget. And they had their budget debate actually on April 27th or 8th of 2001. And they passed a 2.7% mill rate increase. And it was a vote that Pat Fiaco lost. One of the few that I never saw him lose the votes. So it was a 7-4 vote. Fiaco, Fougere, and a couple other councillors, Darlene Hinks was there, and I can't remember who the fourth person was. So they all voted to have a 0% mill rate increase. The other 7 councillors voted for the 2.7. But they didn't pass the budget bylaw that night. What they did is they said to Fiaco, you have to, if you want a 0%, you come up with a plan to get us to 0. And so 3 weeks later, Pat Fiaco came back with a plan that had a bunch of cuts in it. And then a few days later, that went to council, and they were able to find enough cuts to get down to a 0% mill rate increase. And that's what ended up passing. So he started off with a 0%. So that's 4 that I know of.
There we go.
Contra the claim of 2009 being the only one.
And not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah, and I actually, I pulled up, I have, the news article that announced this, and it goes, this was from May 16th, 2001, No Tax Hike for Regina by Neil Scott of the Leader Post. City Council pulled the proverbial rabbit out of the hat late last night and approved a municipal budget that will provide no municipal tax increase this year. That council decision, combined with decisions several weeks ago by the city's 2 school boards to reduce their mill rates by 1.4%, will mean that a typical Regina homeowner will actually see their property tax bill decline by $14.45. I'm proud to be mayor of this city, and I'm proud of this council, said Mayor Pat Fiaco. Seems like a big moment in his career to just skip over that. Yes. 25 years later, when he's showing up at council and has to, do a little myth making.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to call for no additional burden in the moment, and then you're gone. So the consequences when they come, you're not there for them.
So. Yeah. So anyways, we should go to Innovative Revenue Tools now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a bit more about this big honking innovative revenue tool that the Queen City has created for itself. And we're back from Innovative Revenue Tools.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul.
I know something that would put you to sleep.
What's that?
Well, you know this like poking around old newspapers to double check former Mayor Fiacco's tax history, mill rating history. Came across an editorial about this time, and this editorial came in between the time when council voted for a 2.7% mill rate increase and defeated Mayor Pat, but just before he came out with his plan on how to solve this problem and get the city down to its first 0%. I was wondering if you might want to read some excerpts from this editorial.
Oh boy, do I. And I just want to say that if you listen to the Queen City Improvement Bureau on a regular basis, and from time to time you think, why do I listen to a couple of clowns make inane comments on city council? What I'm going to read is what passed for commentary on city council before us.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, City of Regina. Okay, let me start. And I really should have waited to first read this, and on air, so it was fresh. But
I know how you like to rehearse. You like to be a prepared performer.
I do. I am rigorous that way, as we all know. All right. So the title of this editorial is "Fiacco Getting Ready for His High Noon." And by the way, don't think of the movie High Noon because it doesn't track. It's by Bob Hughes, executive editor of Leader Post, from Tuesday, May 1st, 2001. Here we go. Look, and that's there's a little bit of Beowulf there. Yeah. What? Look, if it wasn't for Pat Fiacco, do you think you would have any more than the usual passing interest in how that mysterious beast known as City Council really operates when it's time to prepare the annual budget? Or how they vote, or how they think? At this point, do we even know what's going on in this editorial? I don't know. Anyway, budget sessions at City Council used to be about as exciting as watching the dust blow, or grass grow, or what do you think the third one would be? I mean, you know what it is. Or paint dry. Ever since the one-time amateur boxer, referee, and boxing promoter extraordinaire woke up one morning and decided he wanted to leave private business and become mayor of the City of Regina, Fiacco has backboned almost every move he's made in the ivory tower on Victoria Avenue by decrying the tax load he says has been and still is being inflicted on Reginans. Ever since the one... Okay. I mean, those of you, Paul, and some of you who listen know that I spent a good decade writing restaurant reviews and other weirdo columns on Prairie Dog magazine, and I've had my share of dense, multi-clausal, rebarbative, well-nigh unreadable sentences.
Yeah.
But I bow to Bob Hughes because, man, that beats anything I've ever written in my life. It's
pretty great.
Say.
I love his use of backbone as a verb.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I know. I will admit, when I first read this, I thought I read it as barebacked. And I had to stop and go, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Backbone. Yeah, I do have to hand it to Bob here. Backbone as a verb is actually pretty great.
I'm stealing that.
I gotta say. Anyway, I think what he's saying here with this line is Fiacco has always run on the taxes are too high. That's it.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
So, all right, still being inflicted on Reginans. The roads out of Regina are worn from people leaving town, fed up with the tax burden they keep getting asked to shoulder. And, a citation needed, Bob. And City Council seems at times out of touch with the reality of the times. I'm going to repeat that sentence. And the City Council seems at times out of touch with the reality of the times.
Ooh, nice internal rhyme there. Perfect rhyming.
Exactly. Sorry. Maybe. I don't mean to be cruel. I know that these things have to be written
very quickly. Yeah, he was doing a few of these a week.
Yeah. FIACO has maintained all along that it can be done. Fat chance has been the response at City Hall. No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the government. The 7 who don't believe him, that's the City Council, have taken the interesting route of effectively saying, okay, Mr. Mayor, show us how. I'm doing John Wayne-ish thing. Talk is cheap. Show us your cards. We're calling your bluff. I can't do John Wayne. Give us your secret formula on how we can maintain services and taxes. We'll give you 1 week. Man, what do you think? Do you think Pat FIACO is going to back down?
I think he was going. I think he was going to backbone this challenge.
I think he's going to backbone this challenge. He's going to. Okay, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. All right, we'll give you 1 week. Next paragraph. It's a showdown at the OK Corral. It's every taxpayer in this city being represented by a group at City Hall that's already outnumbered. It's David versus Goliath. It's the little guy against the big guy. I don't know. I can't figure out the metaphor he's going for. They're about to try the rookie mayor on for size. This may get nasty. The working together for a better Regina attitude has dissolved into a duel. It's high noon. Sundown. Bring your own. How can high noon be sundown? Bob. Anyway, the line in the sand has been drawn. I think I blacked out part of this. Anyway, the mayor, they're sniffing. They're sniffing. I love it. Has been talking about all these hiding around every corner, in every closet at City Hall. Let's see him bring them out. It's show and tell time. I honestly don't know what's being said here. As the doctor said to the nurse when he handed over the 4th Dion baby, don't go away. This thing ain't over with yet. Guess it's time to backbone that one. Oh man.
It's glorious.
That is amazing. I gotta say, rereading it, I'm actually more amazed. My hat's off to Bob Hughes for this one.
He was apparently a beloved sports writer, which you can totally tell from his ability to mix metaphors.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for really good sports writing.
Yeah,
I don't like sports very much, but I'll read good sports column any day of the week. This is so as far as I can tell, he's feels like he's on the side of David here. Yeah, David being Pat FIACO, and the city council being the all-powerful conglomerate Goliath.
Yeah,
that Yeah,
the all-powerful council that included like Fred Clipsham, Rob Dayglow, Bill Gray. Like these are people that I've met and who are quite lovely. I find it hard to believe they would be considered like mighty Goliaths inflicting tax increases on the public.
I have a feeling also that Bob Hughes does not like paying taxes very much here.
Right?
Yeah, that kind of came through loud and clear. But that actually, I gotta say, all snark aside, this really does make city council sound like fun.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
and I'm actually going to be.
It also sounds like he never actually went.
No,
sorry, I cut you off.
I think from now on I'm going to be getting more of this sort of like OK Corral stuff.
Right, two-fisted. News writing.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Two-fisted news writing. Cigar in my clenched between my teeth like Sergeant Rock.
Yeah.
I'm
glass bottle of whiskey in the bottom drawer of your desk.
Gotcha. Everything. Yep. I love this.
Yeah.
So, man. Okay. Ever since the one-time amateur boxer, referee, and boxing promoter extraordinaire woke up one morning and decided he wanted to leave private business and become mayor of the city of Regina, Fiacco has backboned almost every move he's made in the Ivory Tower on Victoria Avenue by decrying the tax load he says has been and is still being inflicted on Reginans. I just had to read that sentence out loud again.
Yeah, it's a hell of a sentence.
Yeah, there's that verb, though, backbone. Just
Yeah.
fantastic. Also, I don't think the roads were being worn down by people leaving because of the tax burden.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think that seems like a dubious claim.
Especially, 2.7% mill rate increase. We'd love to get a mill rate increase that low.
I know.
And I think back in their days, the police mill rate increase was rolled into the municipal mill rate increase.
Wow.
So the amount of money that was going to, I don't know that for sure, but I think so based on what I've read, that it seems like the city's actual increase was much smaller than what that mill rate would suggest. So, yeah, you can see how things have shaken out the way they've shaken out. Because, I don't even know what to say to this. I mean, it's so fawning about the mayor. And it's not like this is ancient history, right? This is 2001. I moved to Regina just a few years after that, right?
Oh, you missed the showdown.
I missed the showdown. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
I actually have a bullet wound in my hip from that day.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You should have stayed away.
I know. But
if I'd been here, I would have warned you. Don't go.
No, they sold tickets. Yeah. Raised a lot of revenue for the city.
They drew a line in the sand. It's high noon.
Exactly.
And sundown.
All at the same time.
And when those two things come together, no good can come.
Maybe it was an eclipse.
Maybe it was.
That would explain quite
I'm surprised you didn't work that in. Well, those were just excerpts. Maybe that's elsewhere in the article.
Ah, man. I mean, these certainly are great highlights. So.
Yeah.
Or lowlights.
Yeah, it's surprising, though, to see how the paper of record was talking about the mayor. And I can see why, if you get accustomed to that kind of coverage, paper like Prairie Dog comes along, you might not be so happy about that.
Talk is cheap. Show us your cards. We're calling your bluff. Out the rhythm. Give us your secret formula. Oh, wow. It'd be cool if Mayor Fiacco had a secret formula was for flubber.
Oh, yeah.
So revenues just bounce even higher.
Right.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah, we could use it to power the AI data center now.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, the first flubber-powered whatever.
Data center. Yeah. So we're on 91.3 FM CJTR, AccessNow Community Radio.
Thanks so much for providing that for me to look at.
Oh, hey, no worries. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about a couple other things, because one of the things that people were talking about was the property tax increase that Brant is not going to be getting. They're, in fact, not going to be paying property taxes at all. So I was word that I meant to have come out of my mouth was property tax exemption. That Brant is not going to have to pay property taxes for 5 years on the portion of real that they've purchased. And if council chooses to not extend that property tax exemption, then they will be granted back 95% of whatever tax they pay on that property. And this is just for the municipal and the library portion of the tax, not the education. Although there is a clause in this deal where the city they're required to advocate to the province on Brant's behalf that they should be exempted from education tax as well. So,
sure, why not? Anyways.
There were a lot of questions, and this is one of the things that the public raised as a concern many, many, many times. Is why do they're running a for-profit business? Why do they get a property tax exemption that is basically eternal? It's going to be 99 years on this. So that question was asked of Mr. Brant at the council meeting, and I wanted to play his reply to that. Boop.
I think today it's losing almost $1 million a month, right? So any additional burden that you're going to put on it is going to cause it to be worse. if you think about today, it's one campus, the new assets, the old assets. You have event assets over here that are unpredictable revenue streams, and you have new assets that have predictable revenue streams, like the rinks, like the soccer, all that, right? You're keeping all the predictable revenue, and you're keeping all the predictable and new assets. I'm taking all the old ones with unpredictable revenue, and so the worry is we might lose more than $11 million, okay? Because we have all the cost, and there's not great accounting, not a shot at anybody, but there's not great accounting by building. So, the reality is any additional load on this business starts to put the risk profile way too strong. Because it's one thing to say we're going to invest 100, but it's one thing to say we're going to lose $10 million ongoing forever. Okay? And of course, that tends to grow. So, there's not, and then I guess the last thing I'd follow up on these kind of assets, there's not another jurisdiction taxing them because they're owned by the cities. So the incentive for them not to be owned by the city and for them to be all the risk on the private person is that you don't tax them any more than you would tax yourself. And I think that's a fair compromise because what you gain versus what you lose nothing because you're getting nothing today, and you gain all of the moving of the risk to Brant or the private investor this time versus leaving it on the citizens of Regina. So that's really the answer. So I would be not interested in that. I mean, we are obviously paying, I think it's 5% or whatever it is, but it's a token amount, which I still don't know what that amount is.
So I see this. Currently, we're not getting it, but we're giving up the land forever, right? Should we do this? We no longer are. Is no longer under the public ownership, and I absolutely understand and would agree with you that given that you're making an investment, it makes sense that there is a period of time, and I could get behind a lengthy period of time where there is no taxes on that land. However, forever is a long time. So, and I've also committed to asking these questions because those are the questions that residents are asking of me, and I don't have those answers because I'm not you. But when we're talking about forever, is there any way in which there is any budging of changing forever to a long time, right? To a more set period of time? Because eventually, I imagine, given all this, I think what you presented is wonderful, and I imagine it's going to ideally make a profit and be good for both you, your company, and the city, right? So in that situation, is there any opportunity to change that deal?
There really isn't, because this is not a typical asset that you would buy. If we were buying a warehouse, that's a different story. If you're buying something that we could repurpose, if it was a real estate transaction, that you could look at anything like that. We're buying a business that's going to stay in the same business for all intents and purposes. That's never made any money in this business, all on the basis that we have something magical that we're going to do in our company and ourselves. It's going to turn this thing into a real moneymaker. Well, we got a lot of work to do. Like, we got $11 million hole to dig out, and we got $70 million to generate just to fund what's there, plus what we have to capital invest before we get $1 of return, right? Before you get $1, that is a big mountain to climb. And so when you start piling on the taxes on it, and on these assets, if a council of the day in the future decided they want to get them back and jack the taxes up with a new tax rating, they could take and wipe out everything that we've invested in that property down the road, because this business isn't going to be able to afford much. Like, that's the reality of it. It's just not going to work. And so we definitely would be out if you're going to take that approach on these type of business. If it was a different business, one of Brant's businesses, that'd be a different story. It'd be an incentive. This business just can't afford it.
All right, so that was Sean Semple from Brant responding to questions. The first one was a question from Councillor Fro. The second was you heard Councillor Victoria Flores there, and those were questions about is it possible for us to, at some point in the future impose a property tax on these lands? Don't you think that would be more fair? And that was his response. Can
I tell you how I interpreted very much at least the first part of the response?
Yeah.
I fed it into while he was listening. Right. I fed into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT laughed and died.
Okay.
No. I did not do that. I didn't do it. ChatGPT didn't do that.
Okay.
I think he essentially was saying, I've made a terrible mistake, and actually paying taxes would be like an unacceptable risk. No, But
that's exactly what it sounds like.
He's like saying, I made this is a bad deal for me, guys, and any actual like risk that I'm taking on beyond the obvious like horrible risk from unpredictable revenue streams and failing buildings. So I just find that to be such a strange answer. I mean, you have to have an answer like when you get a deal that's sweet enough to like exempt you from taxes. Yeah. You have to sort of come up with some answer, but essentially saying, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know. Maybe I'm an ice cream vendor. I don't know. That was sorry. No,
I totally agree with you. I think that's exactly what he was saying.
It's like I'm just a little guy. It's my birthday. Don't hurt me.
Yeah, and unfortunately, nobody is forcing this deal on him. No. He came to the city with an unsolicited offer to do this. Yes. And now he's saying, he's acting like these properties are being inflicted on him like a disease or like the weather. And he's like, you can't, I'm taking on so much here. Yeah. Like, I'm sinking. The hull's full of holes. We're going to die. You can't add any ballast. Mix my metaphors, you see.
Very, very good. Thanks. I was going to add something in about, like, swallowing a whole tube of ivermectin on the deal. I don't know why. Yeah. Like, no, it's not working at all. Yeah. No.
The one argument that he makes that I think is actually legitimate is that part of the deal is that he can't change the business that he's going to be in, right? Right. So arguably, and this is how it's kind of like phrased in the document, is that the city is saying, if you change real into something else,
then the exemption is over. Yes.
Exactly.
The party's over.
So that's our incentive to him. You don't have to pay property taxes as long as you preserve, the public goods side of this, which is entertainment, sport, and agriculture business. Yeah. So ag business. But at the same time, the goal here is to make a profit. And like the reason you don't charge the city is because the city is effectively a nonprofit, right? Right. Like we're not trying to make money off this. And profit-making activities come with costs. Mm-hmm. Like bylaw enforcement, policing, roads, traffic, all of these sorts of things. And that's why you pay property taxes, is because your profit creates costs for everybody else in the city. And so because this is a profit activity, and his plan is to go from like 30, 40 events in the Brandt Center to 120. Like, that's madness.
Yeah, that can't possibly work. And he must know this.
And the amount of events he's talking about, that is going to have stress on the surrounding community. And so, but he's not going to be paying property taxes. So.
Maybe it could turn into a giant laser quest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A laser quest?
Yeah.
It could happen.
Laser quest.
The thing that I found really sort of objectionable in there was the bit where he says, if a council of the day, so he's like, I'm not going to do paid property taxes, because if a council of the day in the future decided they want to get them back, them being the buildings, and jack the taxes up with a new tax rating, they could take and wipe out everything that we've invested in that property. Which I think is just an incredibly telling thing for him to say, right? And that's a verbatim quote, by the way. So, he sounds like one of those, libertarians, right, who thinks that all taxes are theft, and that the job of taxes is for, the greedy government to claw the money away from, the
hardworking businessman who
right. And here he has all these
real value.
Yeah. And, he's just a John Galt trying to make his own little town in the middle of Regina. And we're going to take all of his money away from him. But it's not how taxes have ever worked. They've all, the city, as we've learned in 2001, 0% mill rate increase down from 2.7. So the city has always been keeping property taxes and will continue to keep property taxes low as they can for residents and for businesses, to the point where the city itself is broke. And so the city can't maintain the stuff that it owns like the real district. And so these buildings have fallen into disrepair because we've kept our taxes down. And then Sean Semple and Brandt can swoop in and buy them up at fire sale prices and say, I don't want to pay property taxes because that would be unfair to me. It's it's crazy making, because this is what we're doing with our healthcare system. We're not going to charge enough taxes. We're going to let it fall to ruin, and then we're going to privatize it. And yet the people who are going to buy it up are going to say, well, we can't pay taxes because you'd use it irresponsibly.
Or provide healthcare services for that
right?
matter.
Yeah.
You're gonna get 20 operations a year, and then they'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, sorry, you'll get 0.5 per year.
Yeah, and meanwhile, these property taxes are part of why Semple's business has always been in this city and around this city. The low taxes that we don't the taxes we don't charge him, but the services that we supply with the taxes that we do get have helped make his company rich.
Of course.
Right?
I mean, that's how that works, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyways, but yeah, we're not going to charge him taxes, and he's going to turn it into like an entertainment destination soon.
It won't work, though. I'm sorry.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
I kind of do. It's just I've lived in this city for some time. I just can't imagine some other entertainment districts being, who knows? I could be wrong.
Well, on that note.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Then, should we move to adjourn type of thing?
Well, I think we might want to, if you make the motion.
Okay, I'll move to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Much best. You've been listening to the Queen City Improvement Bureau on 91.3 FM, AccessNow Community Radio. Tune into the community. We are broadcast live on Thursday, and you can tell, Thursday after evenings, 7 to 8 p.m. And we broadcast Monday afternoons, 3 to 4 p.m. Your hosts are Paul Deshen and Aidan Morgan. Music by Guidewire, a.k.a. Ryan Hill. You can also find us on our website, queencityab.com. Also, AccessNow. Where else? On all kinds of other places. Oh, also you can find us on Blue Sky. We're posting away on there. Paul does his City Hall coverage. I do whatever it is I do. Anyway, that's it. Keep on improving, Regina. Throw me a bone.